Hey there, everybody. All right, the purpose of this little video is to get you some solutions to this homework. On the we were buying a bunch of flies, different numbers of flies, and got some questions to answer down here. So let's just we're gonna do this. I'm not gonna do it in this Word document. I'm going to once again use Google as a calculator. I think you're gonna like this. Just because when you have to, well, anyway, I'm just going to show you, and we're going to see if you like it or not. So, what I'm going to do for starters is this first row. I need to buy one Candyman fly, one Golden Stone fly, and one Copper John fly. Okay, and here are the prices. Candymen are $6 each. Golden Stones are $3 each, and Copper John is $2.75. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do 1 times $6 plus 1 times $3. Plus 1 times $2.75. Now, Google's smart enough that it can figure out that since it's 1 times $6, that's $6, 1 times $3 is $3, and 1 times $2.75 is $2.75, and then it adds them all together. And then we get $11.75 US dollars. So the answer to this guy right here is $11.75. Okay. Now, what's cool about having it in Google now is I can just update the numbers, 5 and 10. Okay. And then put a 5 here, put a 0 here. Just leave it there. Don't delete it because we're going to need to add more later. And that comes $57.50. Whew, I have never been happier about tying my own flies when I run these maths. $57.50. All right, so far so good. This is 12 of each. So I come back to Google, I change all these to 12. That's going to be a whopper. Yeah, $141, man. Shoo. I'm thinking about the fishing I did last Monday, and I actually lost about 8 flies in the river, one of which was one of these. I tied this myself. Just thinking about, losing that many flies in the river, and, it doesn't hurt quite as much when you tie them yourself. Because, yeah, anyway. 6, 7, and 2. $62.50. I love all the hits down here. $62.50. And last but not least, nothing, and 30. We're going to do some nymphing. Copper Johns are very good flies to do that with. And that's going to cost you $82.50. All right, $82.50. All right, so there's all your $82.50. There's all your dollar amounts. Okay. Now I'm going to introduce what's called average cost of the flies, which means you have to take the total amount that the flies cost and divide it by how many flies there are. And looking at this, I know which one is going to have the lowest average cost per fly. It has to be the last one here. So since you bought 30 flies, and each one of the 30 costs $2.75, the average cost is going to be $2.75. I imagine that what you all did was you added up each of these and divided by, this one you'd divide by 3, this one here you'd divide by 15, this one here you'd divide by 36, this one here you'd divide by 15 again, and this one here you'd divide by 30. I can't wait to hear what you put for explain how you arrived at your previous answer. One of your answers could very well be I simply divided all of these by the total number and got it. I'm going to skip over that part because I imagine all of you would write something different. And just tell you I know that the average cost has to be least for this row because this row doesn't have any Golden Stones nor does it have any Candyman, which means these are the more expensive flies. If I start adding the more expensive flies in, the average cost is going to go up. If you don't see that right now, that's totally fine. You can always just simply divide this by the sum total and call it a day. But I encourage you to kind of think about what I just said about when you start adding the more expensive flies in, the average cost is going to go up. Think about what we talked about in Math 58. It does apply here as well. All right. Hope that helped. We'll catch you in class.